just for you to know. Just for you to remember. So tonight we switch to English for obvious reasons, and I would like to invite the composers Kees Tazelaar and Jonty Harrison to join me on stage. We are broadcasting this formal and official announcement of the Música Viva 2022 prize winner. So welcome. So Kees Tazelaar, Jonty Harrison, and probably all of you know about them. So both of them will have a featured concert, Kees Tazelaar tonight and Jonty Harrison on the Tuesday evening. On each of those concerts we'll have a first part. I will not say that we have a real intermission, but we'll have a short break between the first part and the second part. We'll have a first part where today and tomorrow we'll be presenting the prize winners of the last years. Due to the COVID, we have to somehow, our rules were somehow scrambled, and we could not invite the winning composers, which is something we want to proceed next year. So we'll be concentrating the presentation of the winning prizes from 2019, 20, and 21 in today and tomorrow. And of course on Tuesday we'll have 3 premieres by 3 Portuguese composers, which is indeed very exciting for me. And of course the purpose of being here is to reveal finally the prize winner of this year's competition. I will give the floor to my colleagues to tell you about how hard it is to do this job. But just for the purpose of some statistics, I would like to say that this year we received 116 pieces. In terms of balance of genres, we are still still a very long way to go. We had like not even, I think, 28 or 29 female composers among those 116, which is less than 25%. And we had more than 30 different nationalities attending the concerts, and those that were in largest force were the Italians. Secondly, by the USA, which is current stuff on those competitions. Usually they are the more numerous most of the time. So that's it, and so we had several meetings in order to find out something that I just would like to say that before giving the floor to my colleagues, is that I've been involved in many competitions since many years, since more than 25 years maybe, either for ensemble instruments and electronics, just instruments, or pure tape music, to simplify, so to speak. And I really consider competitions, there are some positive aspects, but is when you don't win a competition is not the end of the world. What I mean by that is, I believe that all pieces that won a competition are good pieces, but those that don't are not bad pieces, and maybe even can be better pieces than the winning pieces, because a winning piece is somehow that does not diminish the quality of the piece, but it is always the result of a discussion, somehow, let's say, with of compromise between commas, and so that is for those that among the 116 people, there are 115 that will be frustrated because they haven't got the prize, because there is just one prize, you know, and this frustration should not be allowed, because this is the deep feeling I have about competitions, you know, and so that is just to somehow temper this question of being the winning piece. The winning piece is not equal to the best piece, in my point of view. So, who would like to follow me with this difficult philosophical question?
I can say something. I mean, you have been in 25 juries.
Yeah.
I have not been in any jury so far, apart from the admission juries for my own department in the Netherlands. And Miguel was mentioning the nationalities and the gender balance between the proposed pieces, but we didn't know that. Yeah? So we were listening to these pieces, and they were anonymous.
Yeah,
so
that's important to say.
Important to mention.
Yeah.
So of course you're always happy to let an Italian win because then he will cook something for you. But in this case we just didn't know.
Yeah,
so, and it was indeed it was challenging. I mean, and I think that Jonty also, I mean, from the discussion that we had, I think we really listened to all those pieces. You know? It was, and then of course there comes this very exciting moment where you have your short list, and then you hope that there are some pieces that appear on all three shortlists, and that was almost the case.
Almost the case. There were some.
There are some. Always, there are some.
And it's very difficult in listening to so many pieces not to let your own aesthetic preferences come in. I mean, the point is, in education, which I was in for, 34 years or something, you try very hard not to let your personal preferences, aesthetic preferences, come in assessing work that students do. And it is true, very often I have given fantastic marks to pieces that I absolutely hated. Because the way they set themselves up and what they tried to do was interesting, and it achieved it, you know. So why would you not give it a good mark? But a competition is a slightly different thing, I think. You know, inevitably, you are drawn to certain types of sound world or certain kind of approaches to the handling of material, and not so drawn to others. Yeah, so it was quite tricky, but we did find enough that we all thought was good to come to a decision. I'd like to say something else about competitions as well. Music and composing should not be a competitive sport.
No.
Right? It really isn't. But it is very important that competitions like this exist and continue to exist and flourish, because they encourage particularly younger composers at the starting out. You know, and if you get some success in a competition, it can have long-term impact on your career. I mean, I was lucky enough to get a couple of prizes early on, and it meant I got invitations to go and work in studios in Hungary and so on and so forth. This kind of thing is invaluable. Without the competitions, that would not have happened. So I'm delighted that your competition is flourishing despite COVID.
Despite COVID, okay. Yeah, because it's already, I'm not sure, but I think it's the 22nd year that we did the competition. And I can remember that the first year we had Bernard Parmigiani as one of the jury members. Second edition we had Jean-Claude Risset, and then many others. Because every year, this is also important to know, despite I'm always there, I'm sorry, for those that would prefer a change.
It would be much easier if you weren't there.
But beside me, and always, all the other members have been always being different, and every year it's a different jury member, and as they can tell you, I never assumed the position of being the president of the jury, not at all. I'm just there because I made the competition, and then to make sure that I know the rules, and just as a guide, not more than that. And even I try to be behind that jury. The way I would like to, I like to be the position I like to have in this competition. So anyway, thank you so much for all the hard hearing and the long hours, you know, you spent. You know, anyway, we took some time. We had more than 2 months to go through those 116 pieces. We had more. We had the year we had more pieces was about around 150, but in recent years we had less than 100 pieces. So this year was already a very a year with a lot of pieces presenting, and with a lot of good pieces, which make also the things very difficult, because still we keep the same rule, just one winner. Because it also has to do, just to explain a little bit more, with the conditions we can offer in order to invite composers to attend the next year the festival and to present their music, not only the prize-winning piece, but some extra works they might have, in order, exactly as Jonty was saying, to be known, to let her or his work be known and spread. And that's the idea. So who wants to reveal who is the prize winning of this year?
Oh, well, I think
Usually
the non-chair of the jury should.
I'm not, I said I'm not the chair of the jury.
I think you are definitely the best.
Okay, so the prize winning piece, it's titled Lightness in Transit. It's a piece written in 2021, 2022, so just brand new, and is by United States of America composer Robert Seaback, which is currently living in Norway, and I don't know since how long, but he's currently living. His address is in Oslo, and he's living there. The piece was made with materials that was recorded and taken in Oslo or neighborhoods around there. So he presents himself as USA Norway, but in fact his nationality is North America. And Robert Seaback again, so congratulations in case you are listening to us. And for all the others, you are welcome. I think we already said enough about all the positions we have regarding competitions. And again, thank you very much for participating. The Festival Música Viva will go on. We already know that. We are at the transition time, but now we know we'll go on. And so the competition will go on also for 2022. And so everybody listening, you are welcome to present your music. And that's it. And again, thank you very much.
Thank you for your
Thank you, sir. It was a great pleasure. And now we go to the music.